Hello all, and today we will discuss how to create a S3 bucket, upload content to our bucket, enable versioning for the content uploaded, make our content public, and finally we will also see how to change the storage class for our content. So let me quickly switch to my AWS account. So this is my AWS account right here, and I'm going to click on S3 where we will create a bucket. So in order to create the bucket, let's click on create bucket and let's give it a bucket name. So I'm going to give it, this is my S3 bucket for demo. This is the name of the bucket. Remember, this name has to be unique and all letters should be lowercase letters. Okay. S3 bucket names are globally unique. So if this name is not unique for whatsoever reason, AWS will tell you immediately. So the region that I am planning to create this bucket in is in US East North Virginia, as you see. And I'm going to click on next. At this time, we will not enable versioning. We'll enable versioning later. I'm not going to enable server access logging or any object level logging or any default encryption at this time. Okay, if we want, we can add a tag right here. I'm going to give value as demo. Also, I'm not going to enable any CloudWatch request matrix at this time. So let's click on next. We will not grant public access to our bucket right now. And also we will not grant Amazon S3 log delivery group to write access to this bucket. Okay, so let's click on next. So as you see, we've kept most of the options as default. This is the summary of our options that we have selected. And finally, let's click on create bucket. So as you will see, our bucket is created and it's not public. This is the ARN of the buckets. If you want to see what is the Amazon resource name, click here and then click on Notepad. And then you will see this is the Amazon resource name. This is my bucket, S3 bucket for demo. So this is our ARN for this S3 bucket. Okay, so since we have now created a bucket, let's go to the next step. The next step for us is to basically upload some content. So let's click on this bucket right here. And now we will go ahead and upload some content to our bucket. So click on upload, add files. Okay, and I have actually got a few pictures together. So I'm going to go to that particular folder and I'm going to upload some of these pictures online. Okay, so let's 1, 2, and 3 maybe. I like these 3, so I'm just going to upload them. Click on open. As you see, all the 3 pictures that we had have been added to the list. Click on next. Again, I'm the owner of this. As you see, I have read write permissions. I don't want to grant any other AWS account access, so I'm just going to leave it default. And at this point of time, I'm not going to grant any public read access to the object. So let's click on next. I'm going to use the storage class right now as standard. And later on, we will see how to change the storage class from standard to standard infrequent access or even reduced redundancy. We are not going to enable any encryption at this time. And then rest of the other values are by default. If you want, you can possibly add any metadata headers as you see over here, like content type, maybe I guess JPEG or something like that. Okay, let's click on next. And this is a summary of what we have. So we have 3 files. The size is approximately 3 MB. Okay, and then let's go ahead and upload them. So as you see, our files are being uploaded. You can see the scroll, there they are. Okay, so this is our file. So, and our file has been uploaded. As you see, this is the URL for our file. Okay, currently, since there is no public access, we will not be able to access this particular picture over the web. Okay, so the next thing that we can do is basically go ahead and make some of our pictures public. So let's click on our bucket and let's select one of the pictures right here. Okay, and as you see, these are the permissions. So if you want, we can click on permissions. Then as you see, there's public access right here. So everyone, and we can give everyone read access to this particular object and click on save. Okay, so this particular picture has read access, public read access. So let's go back to overview and let's now click on this URL. And as you see, our picture is now publicly accessible. And although people will not be able to make any changes to our picture, but at least they will be able to see this picture um, over the web because they have read-only access at this time. Okay, so we kind of created a bucket, we uploaded some content, and we made one of our files, or basically one of our picture files, public. The next thing that we would do is basically enable versioning. So this is our bucket right here. Okay, and when we had created this bucket, we had not enabled versioning. As you see, versioning is disabled. So let's go ahead and change that. So I go and click on properties. And as you see over here, keep multiple versions of an object in the same bucket. So if you want to go ahead and enable versioning, you need to go ahead and click over here. So let's click here. Okay. So right there, as you see, it gives us two options. One is enable versioning and suspend versioning. Now, as you see, there is no way to disable versioning. You can enable versioning, and let's say later on, if you don't want versioning enabled anymore, you can suspend it. Okay, so keep that in mind because this is sometimes asked in the exam as to how can you disable versioning. The fact is that you cannot disable versioning, you can only suspend versioning. So let's click on save. And sorry, I forgot to select enable versioning. So let's click on enable versioning and then click on save right here. So as you see, our versioning for this bucket has been enabled. Okay, so let's go back to our bucket. This is a bucket right here. Versioning has been enabled. So if I go ahead and upload these files all over again, so I have like 438 and 448. So let's go ahead and select that. So this is 438 and 448. I'm going to upload these files again. So let's click on open, then click on next, 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 and upload. So as you see, our files are being uploaded right here. Now, if I go ahead and select one of these, as you see, you can see latest version. And if you click over here, you will see that there are two versions. So one that was the original version that we had created, and the one that I just uploaded right now. That is because we uploaded two versions of a second version for both of these files. Since we have not uploaded another version for our last file, you will see that there is only one version at this time. If you would like to delete a version, let's say, so check this checkbox, okay. Sorry, my session got expired. So if you check this checkbox and then you click on latest version, and as you see, if you want to delete this version, just go ahead and click on delete. If you want to download this version, then you can go ahead and download this. Let's go ahead and download it. So as you see, this particular file has been downloaded right here on my desktop. Okay, so if I scroll down, it should be hiding behind my status bar. Okay, so it's right here behind this. Okay, and then if you want to delete this version, you can click on delete and that version will be deleted. Okay, so again, let's go back. Okay, so we have two versions. So that version got deleted. As you see, we have only one version remaining right now. For the second file, we would have still two versions right here. Okay, so we saw how to enable versioning for any content that is uploaded. The next thing that we will look at is how to change the storage class of any content that we've uploaded to S3. So if you go back to properties and basically so let's select this particular file, and as you see, we will go to properties right here. Storage class is standard. So if you click on storage class, you get a bunch of options over here. So this is S3 standard. Now, if you want to move it to S3 standard infrequent access, you can move it here. Okay, so that requires a minimum 30-day retention period. If you want to move it to one zone infrequent access, that also requires a 30-day retention period and a minimum size of 128 KB. Okay, and if you want to move it to reduced redundancy, in that case you can select this. Remember, reduced redundancy generally is used to store any data that can be easily reproduced. So for this particular demo, we will move it to standard infrequent access and click on save. So as you see now, the storage class for that particular file, that is file 448 JPEG, has been changed to standard infrequent access. So if I go back to my bucket, you will see that the rest of the others are still having standard access, and I could potentially go back here, change this to reduced redundancy and save. So that way we can actually go ahead and change the storage class of any object that has been uploaded in S3. So as you see right now, the first file over here, 438, is in storage class reduced redundancy. The next one after that is in standard infrequent access, and the last one, 556, is in our standard S3 bucket. Okay, so that's pretty much from me, guys, for today. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you would like me to create videos on any specific topic, do let me know, and I can certainly have them created and posted. Thank you, and have a nice day.